So, hello and welcome to the English Book Club. We're carrying on with our reading about from The Little Prince. We're reading the book The Little Prince at the moment. And before we start, just to get you, I know April, you were already in Monday Live Chat, as was Moz, but Shiny and Eleanor, maybe this is your first chance to speak English this morning. I don't know. Have a look around you and tell me what you see that's related to how far we've got in the book so far. Can you see anything that's related to what we read last week? Try to take voice. Yeah, the sheep. How's that related to the book? How come there's a sheep in the book, April?
I've just read that, and it seems that the young boy, the little prince, we will know him as the little prince after this reading session, I think. He asked the narrator to draw him a sheep.
Yes.
And yeah. And the narrator said, "I can't draw a sheep." So he drew something, an animal, a sheep. He meant it was a sheep. And the little boy said, "Oh, but that sheep looks so sickly." And then he was a little bit upset, the narrator, and he drew a box. And he said, "The sheep is in the box."
Yes. Very good. So we need a box, don't we? Let's have a box. Hang on a second. I've got a box somewhere. Nope. I think it's here. Ah, yeah. So, there we have. Oh, it's a Christmas box. Oh, well, that'll do. So he drew a box and said the sheep's in the box, and that was acceptable, wasn't it? Anything else related to the story so far?
I don't see any aeroplane. No?
No, the plane is missing. Where does the plane come in, April?
Where?
Mm,
Where?
in the
I don't
story.
know where. In the story?
Yeah. There you go. Have a look behind you. How is the plane relevant in the story? I have to move it a little bit, otherwise I'm going to be squashing some of you. There you go. Okay. So, if you look to your left, April, there's your plane. How is it relevant in the story? Anybody?
AP said it already, I think.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
It crashed.
That's it, yes. Yes, the narrator who's telling the story crashed in the desert. That's right. Good. Anything else related to the story so far? There are 3 more things.
The roses, we have said that last week. The
Last
roses.
week, yes.
Yeah,
We haven't
Eleanor?
really met the rose yet, though. We haven't really. We
No,
know
not
that. No. Okay, so this is 3 more things that we've talked about in the story.
The sheep eating roses.
The sheep's already April mentioned that. The sheep's already there with the fox that he
And
then raised.
elephant
The
eaten
elephant.
by a boa constrictor inside.
And what could it be confused with? Oh, Manju wants to join us.
Oh, that was in the beginning, Eleanor, that he drew
Yeah,
boa,
in the beginning.
boa
Yeah.
outside and boa inside.
Yeah. So we've got the elephant. And if you actually look at my avatar,
Are you the pilot, Flynn?
no, I'm not the pilot. Look what's around my neck.
Is that the constrictor, the boa?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And next to me, on my plinth, on my platform,
Yeah. He wanted to draw. What was it again? I said that it looked like a snail. But
yes.
it was. He wanted.
Sorry, I'm laughing because it was actually quite funny. What was he trying to? What did a lot of people think he'd drawn?
It was. It was. Yeah. What was it? He wanted to draw an elephant.
He wanted to draw an elephant being swallowed by a snake, but a lot of people mistook it for being what?
A hat.
A hat, that's
hat,
it.
a hat,
Yes.
a hat.
Well done.
Yeah, it looks like you have more hat than the narrator in the
Yes.
book.
I couldn't find a hat that looked like a snake swallowing an elephant, but it's the closest I could get to. Very good. So, does everybody have the link? Could someone share the link, please?
Yes, I have it, I think.
Thank you very much. So if we all open our books there. I've got it somewhere on my computer. I couldn't find it, so thanks for that, Eleanor. And if you remember, we're at this part of the book, page 11. Okay. And he sank into a reverie which lasted a long time. Okay. So it's page 11, chapter 3, I think. Okay, so the first person to speak to me this morning was Shiny. Shiny, have you managed to open up the book?
Yes, I'm opening.
Good. And as soon as you're ready.
Yes. And he sank into a reverie, which lasted a long time. Then, taking my sheep out of his pocket, he buried himself in the contemplation of his treasure. You can imagine how my curiosity was aroused by this half-coincidence about the other planets. I made a great effort, therefore, to find out more on this subject. My little man, where do you come from? What is this where I live, of which you speak? Where do you want to take your sheep? After a reflection silence, he answered, The thing that is so good about the box you have given me is that at night he can use it as his house. That is so, and if you are good, I will give you a string, too, so that you can tie him during the day, and a post to tie him to. But the little prince seemed shocked by this offer. Tie him? What a queer idea! But if you don't tie him, I said, he will wander off somewhere and get lost. My friend broke into another peal of laughter. But where do you think he would go? Anywhere, straight ahead of him. Then the little prince said earnestly, That doesn't matter where I live, everything is so small. And with perhaps a hint of sadness, he added, Straight ahead of him, nobody can go very far. Should I continue?
Yes, carry on.
Chapter 4. The narrator speculates as to which asteroid from which the little prince came. I had thus learned a second fact of great importance. This was that the planet the little prince came from was scarcely any larger than a house, but that did not really surprise me much. I knew very well that in addition to the great planets, such as the Earth, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, to which we have given names, there are also hundreds of others, some of which are so small that one has a hard time seeing them through the telescope. When an astronomer discovers one of these, he does not give a name, but only a number. He might call it, for example, asteroid 325. I have serious reason to believe that the planet from which the little prince came is the asteroid known as B612. This asteroid has only once been seen through the telescope. That was by a Turkish astronomer in 1909. On making his discovery, the astronomer had presented it to the International Astronomical Congress in a great demonstration, but he was in Turkish costume, and so nobody would believe what he said. Grown-ups are like that. Continue.
Yes,
Fortunately, however, for okay.
Okay. Shiny's finished, I think. Have you finished, Shiny? Or yeah, Manju couldn't join us this morning, I'm afraid. But
I finished the page
Okay, okay.
30.
Yes, I know last week we did it page by page, but that's because it was the beginning of the book. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll do 3 pages each today then. That's probably easier for me to count. So, very, very nicely read. Well done. And a couple of smileys and a couple of things to confirm with you, which you might be surprised at. I don't know. But let's start with subject. So you study subjects at school, you can be the subject of a study, you can talk about different subjects. Try it, Shiny? Subject. That's right.
Subject.
Now, that's it. Because it's a different, there's a difference in pronunciation or stress when you've got the verb to subject someone to something. So you can subject someone to the torture of pronunciation, but the subject is pronunciation. Slightly different intonation, different meaning. To subject someone to something and the subject, or a different subject. Okay, noun and verb. Then we've got the word offer. I'd like to make you an offer you can't refuse. Now this one, you can offer somebody something and you can make someone an offer. It doesn't change its pronunciation. It's just offer. Try it.
Offer.
That's it. Good. Then asteroid. An asteroid.
Asteroid.
That's it. Yeah. Good. Venus. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Venus.
That's it. And then we've got these different asteroids which are given numbers. Now, it's a bit like hotel room numbers, okay? So it's asteroid 325. We don't say 325, we give it a number and we read each number out separately. So we'd say asteroid 325 and asteroid B612. Do you want to try it?
Asteroid 325. Asteroid B612.
Yeah, good. And we do the same with hotel room numbers and telephone numbers. Each number is read out as an individual number. Okay. Then the last one, Congress.
Congress. Congress.
Congress. We have Congress in America, of course. It's part of their constitution. They have the government and then they have Congress, made up of all the senators, I think, if I'm right. And you can also Congress, you can do it as a verb, to congress, to get together, to gather. Okay. Same pronunciation again. And then you get 2 smileys. Now, the reason that one of the words appears both in your corrections and in the smileys is you got it right once. But then the next time you struggled again. So let's just confirm. Speculates, to speculate. He's speculating. Try it. Speculates.
Speculates.
Good. And then astronomer.
Astronomer.
Yeah, you can say astronomer, but we tend to say astronomer. Okay, so we tend to use that little schwa, astronomer, 3 times in this one, okay? Because we tend to avoid saying ass for some reason in English. So try it again, Shiny. Astronomer.
Astronomer.
That's right. An astronomer is an expert in astronomy. Okay, that's what they study. Any questions?
A reverie is a dream? A state
Yeah,
of,
a state of
dreaming?
dreaming. Yes, yeah. It's more of a daydream. So dream is what we do. You can dream, of course. You can have dreams, wishes. You dream at night, and reverie is the state of sort of daydreaming when you kind of just wander off in your mind.
But
Tends to
what
be
is
sort of
the...
a positive thing, though. Yeah, you're just daydreaming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
And Lynn, the name of the man in the football, is that not reverie? The...
No, oh, I see. The referee. No, that's the ref. The referee. So you've got reverie, which has got the v, and
okay.
referee, which is the guy who goes foul, yellow card, red card, you're off. So yeah, referee, reverie. So let's try this for you, April. Oh, one E, one R.
The referee was in a reverie.
Very
Oh, that's so
good.
difficult.
It's difficult, isn't it?
But I don't hear that myself.
I just
the
heard
difference
it.
between the...
Okay,
Really?
yes, I just heard it. It was perfect. Well done. Yes, to be in a state of reverie, to have someone break your reverie, that means somebody interrupts your daydream, I'm afraid. Very good. Any other questions? Okay, let me find my mouse again.
This
yeah.
asteroid was 325.
No, we don't know. We don't know. He's speculating, guessing to speculate. Yeah. So he's thinking it could be that asteroid that was discovered by it could be something in another galaxy or another universe, maybe. We don't know. Okay. But he's imagining the little prince living on this little ball of matter in space, and deciding it's probably not a planet that we've given a name to. It's probably an asteroid with a number. We don't know. Okay? Okay, so let us carry on. And next person to read is April. April, if you'd like to start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Fortunately, however, for the reputation of asteroid B612, a Turkish dictator made a law that his subjects, under pain of death, should change to European costume. So in 1920, the astronomer gave his demonstration all over again, dressed with impressive style and elegance. And this time everybody accepted his report. If I have told you these details about the asteroid and made a note of its number for you, it is on account of the grown-ups and their ways. When you tell them that you have made a new friend, they never ask you any question about essential matters. They never say to you, what does his voice sound like? What games does he love best? Does he collect butterflies? Instead, they demand, how old is he? How many brothers has he? How much does he weigh? How much money does his father make? Only from these figures do they think they have learned anything about him. If you were to say the grown-ups, I saw a beautiful house made of rosy brick with geraniums in the windows and doves on the roof, they would not be able to get any idea of that house at all. You would have to say to them, I saw a house that cost $20,000. Then they would exclaim, "Oh, what a pretty house that is!" Just so, you might say to them, the proof that the little prince existed is that he was charming, that he loved, and that he was looking for a sheep. If anybody wants a sheep, that is a proof that he exists. And what good would it do to tell them that? They would shrug their shoulders and treat you like a child. But if you said to them, the planet he came from is asteroid B612, then they would be convinced and leave you in peace from their questions. They are like that. One must not hold it against them. Children should always show great forbearance toward grown-up people. But certainly, for us who understand life, figures are a matter of indifference. I should have liked to begin this story in the fashion of the fairy tales. I should have liked to say, once upon a time there was a little prince who lived on a planet that was scarcely any bigger than himself and who had need of a sheep. To those who understand life, that would have given a much greater air of truth to my story. For I do not want anyone to read my book carelessly. I have suffered too much grief in setting down these memories. 6 years have already passed since my friend went away from me with his sheep. If I try to describe him here, it is to make sure that I shall not forget him. To forget a friend is sad. Not everyone has had a friend, and if I forget him, I may become like the grown-ups who are no longer interested in anything but figures. It is for that purpose again that I have bought a box of paints and some pencils. It is hard to take up drawing again at my age, when I have never made any pictures except those of the boa constrictor from the outside and the boa constrictor from the inside since I was 6. I shall certainly try to make my portraits as true to life as possible. But I am not at all sure of success. One drawing goes along all right, and another has no resemblance to its subject. I make some errors too in the little prince's height. In one place he is too tall, and in another too short, and I feel some doubts about the color of his costume. So I fumble along as best I can, now good, now bad, and I hope generally fair to middling. In certain more important details I shall make mistakes also, but that is something that will not be my fault. My friend never explained anything to me. He thought perhaps that I was like himself, but I, alas, do not know how to see sheep through the walls of boxes. Perhaps I'm a little like the grown-ups. I have had to grow old. Chapter 5. We are warned as to the dangers of the baobabs. As each day passed, I would learn in our talk something about the little prince planet, his departure from it, his journey. The information would come very slowly, as it might chance to fall from his thoughts. It was in this way that I heard on the 3rd day about the catastrophe of the baobabs. This time once more, I had the sheep to thank for it. I had the sheep to thank for it, for the little prince asked me abruptly, as if seized by a grave doubt, "It is true, isn't it, that sheep eat little bushes?" "Yes, that is true." "Ah, I'm glad." I did not understand why it was so important that sheep should eat little bushes, but the little prince added, "Then it follows that they also eat baobabs?" I pointed out to the little prince that baobabs were not little bushes, but, on the contrary, trees as big as castles, and that even if he took a whole herd of elephants away with him, the herd would not eat up one single baobab. The idea of the herd of elephants made the little prince laugh. We would have to put them on to top. We would have to put them on one on top of the other, he said. But he made a wise comment. Thank you.
Baobab.
Yeah, thanks, Eleanor. Thanks, Eleanor. Fortunately. Grown, grown-ups, grown-ups. Ah, okay. Oh, but why is it different? You write it the same way, but the pronunciation is different. Why make me so difficult? Doves and a dove and dove. Okay. So, what does American use dive as a pastime? So in English, British English is to dive, dove, dove, and American is to dive, dove, dive. I mean, okay. Ah, okay, to dive, dived, dived. Okay. Drawing. Not like throwing. How do you pronounce the D? You mean? Ah, drawing. Okay, catastrophe. Catastrophe. First, when I saw that word, I saw that they have written it incorrectly instead of boa, bow. I think there is they always put that picture, a lot of that picture on the internet. I think one single tree in a desert like that, isn't it?
Okay. Before they grow so big, the baobabs start out by being little. That is strictly correct, I said. But why do you want the sheep to eat the little baobabs? He answered me at once. Oh, come, come, as if he were speaking of something that was self-evident. And I was obliged to make a great mental effort to solve this problem without any assistance. Indeed, as I learned, there were on the planet where the little prince lived as on all planets, good plants and bad plants. In consequence, there were good seeds from good plants and bad seeds from bad plants. But seeds are invisible. They sleep deep in the heart of the earth's darkness until someone among them is seized with the desire to awaken. Then this little seed will stretch itself and begin, timidly at first, to push a charming little sprig inoffensively upward toward the sun. If it is only a sprout of radish or the sprig of a rose bush, one could let it grow wherever it might wish. But when it is a bad plant, one must destroy it as soon as possible, the very first instant that one recognizes it. Now, there were some terrible seeds on the planet that was the home of the little prince. And these were the seeds of the baobab. The soil of that planet was infested with them. A baobab is something you will never be able to get rid of if you attend to it too late. It spreads over the entire planet. It bores clear through it with its roots. And if the planet is too small and the baobabs are too many, they split in pieces. It's a question of discipline, the little prince said to me later on. When you've finished your own toilet in the morning, then it is time to attend to the toilet of your planet. Just so, with the greatest care. You must see to it that you pull up regularly all the baobabs at the very first moment when they can be distinguished from the rose bushes which they resemble so closely in their earliest youth. It is very tedious work, the little prince added, but very easy. And one day he said to me, you ought to make a beautiful drawing, so that the children where you live can see exactly how all this is. That would be very useful to them if they were to travel some day. Sometimes, he added, there is no harm in putting off a piece of work until another day. But when it is a matter of baobabs, that always means a catastrophe. I knew a planet that was inhabited by a lazy man. He neglected 3 little bushes. So, as the little prince described it to me, I have made a drawing of that planet. I do not much like to take the turn of a moralist, but the danger of the baobabs is so little understood, and so considerable risks would be run by anyone who might get lost on an asteroid, that for once I'm breaking through my reserve. Children, I say plainly, watch out for the baobabs. My friends, like myself, have been skirting this danger for a long time without ever knowing it. And so it is for them that I have worked so hard ever destroying. The lesson which I pass on by this means is worth all the trouble it has cost me. Perhaps you will ask me, why are there no other drawing in this book as magnificent and impressive as this drawing of the baobabs? The reply is simple. I have tried, but with the others I have not been successful. When I made this drawing of the baobabs, I was carrying beyond myself by the inspiring force of urgent necessity.
Very good. Well
This
done.
was the third. Yeah, okay.
Well done. So, yes, beware of the baobabs, indeed. Very, very well written. No corrections. Just one little thing that you missed. Okay, which is important. You missed the it out of this part of the sentence. So not they split in pieces. If something split in pieces, it fell apart on its own. but they split it in pieces, as in the trees forced it to split. So they split
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you need that it. Okay.
It would be intransitive. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Another different meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
just
Yeah, of course.
what effect did the trees have on the planet, or what happened to the planet? It split in pieces. They split it in pieces. But nicely read. Well done. Any questions?
I like his style.
It's
He's
lovely,
really
isn't
amazing.
it? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an absolutely incredible writer. You can see why the stories survived for so long and been translated into so many different um, languages. Okay, so Moz, are you with us?
Yes, Lynn.
Excellent, good, good, good. You're so quiet.
I was chatting with my former high school classmate while you're reading, so
Oh gosh,
I just kept it.
you're multitasking. Dangerous thing to do.
Yes,
But well
Lynn.
done. You're still paying attention. That's what matters.
Yeah. Yes, it's this for money.
Okay, so chapter 6. If you could read the next 3 pages, please, whenever you're ready.
uh, uh, chapter 6.
Yeah, it's
The
page
Little
20.
Prince and the narrator talk about sunsets. Oh, Little Prince, bit by bit, I came to understand the secrets of your sad little life. For a long time, you had found your only entertainment in the quiet pleasure of looking at the sunset. I learned that new detail on the morning of the 4th day when you said to me, I'm very fond of sunsets. Come, let us go look at a sunset now. But we was but we must wait, I said. Wait for what? For the sunset. We must wait until it is time. At first, you seemed to be very much surprised. And then you laughed to yourself. You said to me, I am always thinking that I am at home. Just so everybody knows that when it is noon in the United States, the sun is setting over France. If you could fly to France in 1 minute, you could go straight into the sunset right from noon. Unfortunately, France is too far away for that. But on your tiny planet, my little prince, all you need to do is move your chair a few steps. You can see the day end and the twilight falling whenever you like. One day, you said to me, I saw, I saw the sunset 44 times. And a little later you added, you know, one loves the sunset when one is so sad. Were you so sad then? I asked, on the day of the 44 sunsets? But the little prince made no reply. Chapter 7. Okay. On the 5th day, again, as always, it was thanks to the sheep, the secret of the little prince's life was revealed to me abruptly without anything to lead up to it, and as if the question had been born of long and silent meditation on his problem. He demanded, a sheep, if it eats little bushes, does it does it eat flowers too? A sheep, I answered, eats anything it finds it's in its reach. Even flowers that have horns? Yes, even flowers that have thorns. The thorns, what What use are they? I did not know. At that moment, I was very busy trying to unscrew a bolt that had got stuck on my engine. I was very much worried, for it was becoming clear to me that the breakdown of my plane was extremely serious, and I had so little drinking water left that I had to fear for the worst. The thorns, what use are they? The little prince never let go of a question once he had asked it. As for me, I was upset over that bolt, and I answered with the first thing that came into my head. The thorns are of no use at all. Flowers have thorns just for spite. Oh, there was a moment complete silence. Then the little prince flashed back at me with a kind of resentfulness. I don't believe you. Flowers are weak creatures. They are na eh. They reassure themselves as best they can. They believe that their thorns are terrible weapons. I did not answer. Yes.
I I was wondering too, but
Yes, but mm, eh, uh, maybe, but it's slow. Okay. uh, uh, that's it. The little princess left. Uh, Prince Charles' mother. Okay. Then how about princess with double S? Is it same as princess left? Yes. How about the pronunciation between princess and princess with possessive? The princess stole the princess thoughts. Oh. Prin princess long as oh compared to the other one. Princess. Oh, okay. The princesses. Oh no, where's this? I know. Wait. Okay, the princesses stole the prince's touch.
Yes, well done. Yeah, the princesses stole the prince's tarts.
Okay.
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 So we've got the little prince's life, and then the next one is resentfulness. To resent somebody. Resentfulness.
Okay. Resentfulness.
Yeah, try and get a z, not resent. That's resend. Resent. That's to resend something.
Okay.
Yeah. To resend something. He resent the parcel. Yeah.
Okay. Resentfulness.
Resentfulness.
Resent. Resent. Resentfulness.
That's it. To resent someone.
Ah.
I know. Okay, and then you get a smiley for thorns. Well done, thorns. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, well done. It's not easy. I know. I know it's not easy. But it is important because, as I say, resentfulness, I think people would understand. But if you said to somebody, I resent him, they think, where did you send him in the first place? Whereas I resent him, his success, whatever. I'm sure you wouldn't, but I resent that. Then you've got to get that z to show it's not resend, to resend something. Okay? Okay, good. So, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed reading, and I hope you're enjoying the story. I'll see what I can come up with next week to take from the story and to present here. Any questions before I disappear?
Is the
Uh,
last page you have read most? Is the 22?
Yes.
Because my grandson is just
Uh,
coming, so
well,
I wasn't there in your reading.
okay, I've put it in the forum. So if you need to check where we read up to, you'll find it in the forum along with your pronunciation corrections. I don't know, Eleanor, are you doing a document for this one?
Yes, of course. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
could you
I will
share
send
the
you with,
link? Yeah,
yeah,
in the
with the
forum.
baobab,
Yeah.
of course. I have already done this
Have you?
on the forum. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't see it.
I perhaps in the wrong section. I
I
will check.
think it must be in the wrong bit. Yeah, if you could use that link, then that's the one where I put
Okay,
in.
I will
Yeah,
do it.
that's
Yeah,
lovely.
okay,
Thank
I
you.
will do
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
That's why I didn't think you were doing it because okay, which is fine. You don't have to. There's no there's no need to do so if you don't want to. But if you are doing it, then it would be nice if you shared it there. That's great. Thank you so much.
There it prints. Yeah, yeah. This is a
That's
new
it.
section.
Yeah, the
Okay. Yeah.
Little Prince. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. Okay, so we will leave it there and carry on next week. I do like I need a name for my snake here. I do like him very much. My pet snake. Hey. What should I call him? Can't call him Snake, can I? Got to give him a name. Fred.
The Little Prince.
The little. Oh no! I need to give him a name that's more snaky. Sid. Sid. There was a character in a TV series called Hissing Sid. I think I'll call him Sid. Sid the Snake. Okay, thanks a lot for coming. Take care. Don't forget, you can carry on chatting if you want to, but I'm going to have to log off and set up the Skype session with Jess. So don't forget to ask me in Skype if you would like to join. I'll add you to the group. Okay? Take care then. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Can't draw a sheep, so he drew something, an animal, a sheep. He meant it was a sheep, and the little boy said, "Oh, but that sheep looks so sickly," and then he was a little bit upset, the narrator, and he drew a box. And he said, "The sheep is in the box."
Yes. Very good. So we need a box, don't we? Let's have a box. Hang on a second. I've got a box somewhere. Nope. I think it's here. Ah, yeah. So, there we have. Oh, it's a Christmas box. Oh, well, that'll do. So he drew a box and said the sheep's in the box, and that was acceptable, wasn't it? Anything else related to the story so far?
Are you the pilot, Lynn?
No, I'm not the pilot. Look what's round my neck.
The constrictor, the boa?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And next to me, on my plinth, on my platform.
Yeah. He wanted to draw. What was it again? I said that it looked like a snail. But
Yes.
it was. He wanted.
Sorry, I'm laughing because it was actually quite funny. was he trying to? What did a lot of people think he'd drawn?
It was yeah, what was it? He wanted to draw an elephant.
He wanted to draw an elephant who's telling the story crashed in the desert. That's right. Good. Anything else related to the story so far? There are 3 more things.
The roses we have said that last week.
Last week, yes.
Yeah?
We haven't
Eleanor?
really met the rose yet, though. We haven't really. We
No,
know
not
that.
yet.
No. Okay, so this is 3 more things that we've talked about in the story.
The sheep eating roses.
The sheep's already. April mentioned that the sheep's already there with the box. That he
And
raised.
elephant
The
eaten
elephant.
by a boa constrictor inside.
And what could it be confused with? Oh, Manju wants to join us.
Oh, that was in the beginning, Eleanor, that he drew
Yeah, in the
boa,
beginning.
yeah? Boa
Yeah.
outside and boa inside.
Yeah. So we've got the elephant, and if you actually look at my avatar,
I don't see any aeroplane. No?
no, the plane is missing. Where does the plane come in, April?
Where?
Mm,
Where?
in the
I don't
story.
know where. In the story?
Yeah. There you go. Have a look behind you. How is the plane relevant in the story? I have to move it a little bit, otherwise I'm going to be squashing some of you. There you go. Okay. So, if you look to your left, April, there's your plane. How's it relevant in the story? Anybody?
AP said it already, I think.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
It crashed.
That's it, yes. Yes, the narrator. So, hello and welcome to the English Book Club. We're carrying on with our reading about from The Little Prince. We're reading the book The Little Prince at the moment. And before we start, just to get you, I know April, you were already in Monday Live Chat, as was Moz, but Shiny and Eleanor, maybe this is your first chance to speak English this morning, I don't know. Have a look around you and tell me what you see that's related to how far we've got in the book so far. Can you see anything that's related to what we read last week? Try to take voice. Yeah, the sheep. How's that related to the book? How come there's a sheep in the book, April?
I've just read that, and it seems that the young boy, the little prince, we will know him as the little prince after this reading session, I think. He asked the narrator to draw him a sheep.
Yes.
And yeah, and the narrator said, I